Family, I'm pumped up tonight. I'm just want to warn y'all. I'm pumped up tonight. Yo, this gonna be a lit show. I'm telling y'all. Be ready. Tell your friends to get on now. YouTube Conserviz 34. Tell them to get on right now.
It's your boy Conserviz 34 back at home.
What up? What up? It's your boy Conserviz 34.
Yep, so your boy Conserviz 34 coming to you here.
What up? What up? It's your boy Conserviz 34. Aria. Okay, so this is Aria, and just tell us a little bit about yourself and about your love for the Dave Matthews Band.
I've been a fan of the band since April 28, 1998, and if you recognize the date, that's when Before These Crowded Streets was released.
Alpine is definitely a better venue than Summerfest, but we'll take it. I think I've been going to shows for about 20-something years.
I always tell people, like, compare DMB to now to when I first started. And I got started, in my opinion, I feel like I got started late. Like, I was at the very end of the band's prime. I feel like that 03 to 06 was like the end of the prime. 07, 08 was like, you know, we're at the very end. And then when Roy passed.
Dave really, this is the thing. Dave has put, Rashawn has been assigned the quarterback of this team. He is the coach, the play caller. He designs the jams. Dave just shows up and plays whatever he's going to play. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Ooh, sheesh. Sheesh. What a show. What a show. What a show. What a show. I am at a loss for words. Okay? I'm at a loss for words right now. But I'm going to talk about this show. Okay? We're going to talk about this show. We're going to talk about the other shows. Many of these I've been to that are in concession for best show of the tour. Okay. Wow. Y'all hear that in the background? What do y'all hear in the background? What do y'all hear in the background? Hey, let's turn this up a little more so y'all can get a little more sound here. What do you hear in the background? Family, this your boy Consequence 34. I am hyped out, okay? I'm hyped out. I think the almanac, did the almanac crash? I have these were already pre-saved before. What's that? This show was lit. Okay. Gilford, New Hampshire. What up? Laconia. Okay. Hampton Beach. All y'all in New Hampshire. Y'all lived free and you might die trying to have a better set list before tonight. Wow. I'm at a loss for words. Um and here's the thing. I want to start off with this because listen, we can compare set lists all day. Overall, everybody wins with this tour. Everybody wins with this tour. Okay, I went to Mansfield. I went to Hartford. I went to Deer Creek. I went to Alpine. And I went to Saratoga Springs, New York, for to me the most intimate venue you can ever see DMB at. Plus the energy, although Gilford is more is intimate too, but this is the best venue view wise, which is SPAC. Okay, all of those shows had something special. Yeah, there's been a couple of shows you could argue, listen, it wasn't all there. We got this tour. Everybody is getting fed some special things for the single night stops. Okay. Everybody is getting fed. Listen, we had a shotgun liberation in Austin, Texas. Okay, I understand. Listen, anything football that happens, anything football related that happens in Austin, Texas, it's expected. Okay, all right. Anything with the rodeo, although the biggest rodeo was the Houston rodeo, which I've been to, but anything if there's some big rodeo thing that happens, it's expected. But to have shotgun in Texas, to have Dreaming Tree in Texas, to have a bunch of two steps. Shout out to Mark. Mark is out there. Mark was there in the South. Everybody is getting, before we even talk about this show, every single tour stop got fed some special things for the one night stands. Okay. You know, we know our home. Listen, allegedly, Zach Wilson, allegedly, okay. Allegedly, Zach Wilson, you know, he was his allegedly. Okay, I gotta say allegedly. Allegedly, Jets quarterback Zach Wilson was cheating on his ex allegedly with his mom's friend. Okay, they had a little say goodbye. And actually, I, I I have a little thing on my Instagram. I'll show you later about that. Right? It was a little, maybe it was a little one night stand. Right? Maybe he was messing with different chicks, and his girl broke up with him. Dave Matthews is having one night stands and midweeks, two night stands. And he's listen, it's like Derek Jeter. Derek Jeter used to give them chicks a baseball, right? He used to give them a little, gift of flowers, and he would drive the limo driver would drive them out of the crib. Okay. Right. That is what every single there is like, yeah, there's a couple shows. Maybe you didn't get what you wanted, right? Yeah, and Rocco says this: the shotgun opener at Pete. Listen, family, I was at the two of some of the biggest weekends of the year in Deer Creek and Alpine. Obviously, Alpine's a big three. Alpine, SPAC, and Deer in Alpine, SPAC, and the Gorge are the big three venues. But I was out there chasing the big three venues, and they bust out the shotgun in Homedale, New Jersey. Right? This tour, you could say this tour was better. That tour in the post Leroy Moore era, right? You have caravans. Let's not even count those, right? But like in obviously 2012, 2013 were just a different level. But in the Buddy, let's say the Buddy Strong era, In the Buddy Strong era, I have not seen it. Only been a couple tours. I have not seen a tour where everybody is getting something special. Every single spot, every single region of the country, you could say this show was off, and I didn't like this about Bristol. I didn't like this about that show, right? But every single region of the country has been getting some. I said that the preseason was in, and maybe still the preseason was in down south because the band was still trying to get their gears. They were busting out some crazy songs and liberating some crazy, but they were still getting there. This band is feeding the streets, okay? They are feeding the streets right now, and everyone is getting something special. We can talk about best, and we're going to talk about that, but I think the biggest thing I chased all the big venues this year outside of the Gorge. I went to the Gorge last year. So in the last 365 days, I've been to Alpine, SPAC, Gorge. And I've also thrown in Deer Creek, which to me is just right up there as well. Let's pull up this set list, okay? And this is the thing. This is why I say that this is the show of the tour. You have a Tripping Billy's to start off. You have a Maker. Now, listen, some people, you could argue, there's a case for that, but I still think the Maker at the 2 spot, okay, even if it's a song that's been, after I've heard it a couple of times, I didn't really hear it for years. The first one was at the Gorge, I think in 19 or 21. I think it was 19. And I hadn't heard it before that. But the Maker at 2. Now, Funny the Way It Is, you could say that's a slow part, but still, I like Funny the Way It Is in the Buddy Strong era. It was getting played out in the pre-Buddy era, but I actually like the way it is now, right? Crush at the 4 spot, Stay or Leave, and this is interesting. This is the first Stay or Leave at Gilford. And they've played some Devil runs here at Gilford. I've actually, I went last year. The Stone at the 6 spot, right? To get a Stone six songs in. Rooftop. Now, again, you may not like Rooftop, but I like the Rooftop breakdown. Since they renovated in 2013, 2012, it was all right. 2013, they had that little breakdown that you see from 2013 to present, right? But right? Break for It. Right? Break for It comes back. You didn't get Break for It at Alpine. You didn't get Break for It at SPAC. You got it at Gilford, New Hampshire. Now, Sledgehammer, you could say that's a bathroom break song. That's probably when I would have went to the bathroom after the first 8 songs, but it's still a crowd pleaser, okay? It's still a crowd pleaser. Stolen Away is a gem. Full band Stolen Away. I got it at, I believe that was Alpine. It was dedicated to someone who was battling cancer and to the family of, I believe it was Megan. I don't know what's happened since Alpine, but we're praying for you. I don't know the status, but just our prayers are with Megan and her family, and I hope she's still busting down cancer, and beating down the cancer and giving cancer that work. Then you get a Say Goodbye. Then you get a So Damn Lucky. Now, you could argue, someone said is Walk Around the Moon one of the low parts. To me, Walk Around the Moon is amazing. But again, this is a good point. That's probably one of the lower points of the night because everything is so fire. And Walk Around the Moon is amazing. The vocals are amazing, right? I love it. Okay. What You Are, that is, listen, y'all saw me last year, dumb out to What You Are, MSG. This tour debut is better than, now I will say, here's the thing. I will say Pay for What You Get is better and SPAC Night 2. But I would rather have a What You Are than a Halloween. Now, again, you could argue, listen, I was there. Your boy was there. So I'm not like I'm talking like I wasn't there. Now, that Billy's Fake to Halloween was lit. But I'd rather have I'd rather have What You Are. Now, I know the Billy's to Halloween. Oh, no, too much to Halloween, right? Right? First everyday show closure since Gorge Night 3 2007. Yeah. But What You Are, and then after What You Are, they play Lie in Our Graves. The Space Between, you could argue that's a low point. But after The Space Between, they play Squirm at the 17 spot, and then they play two-step. I don't listen. Listen. I think what you have to realize, what makes to me the best shows is the least skippable set list. There's some great shows that have some skippable stuff. But what I'm learning is what I enjoy the most is sets like a set like SPAC Night 1 that had limited skippable songs. And this one is even further. I think this is further. And again, I know some of y'all don't like Funny the Way It Is, right? And then they do O Into Everyday, a tour debut. So they got 2 tour debuts here. And O Into Everyday, right? And to me, listen, Everyday is not my favorite song. I said, listen, I was happy it wasn't at the beginning of this tour. It needs some breathing room. But I think now that it's come back at SPAC, it was lit. That crowd was lit. Right? And then you have Everyday. And now listen, the biggest thing that you have to look at this is you could say that, all right, there was Dreaming Trees played, there were Shotguns. But those set lists, even those songs, listen, I don't know how emotionally I'm going to react to seeing Shotgun live. Right? Andrew says Everyday. Andrew, were you there? Andrew number 34, were you there? Let me know. But the thing is, though, when you have a main set like this, I don't care. They could have played Shake Me Like a... Now, that would have knocked it down. But I think Everyday is that... Listen, when you have all these deep cuts, you got to feed the casual fan. And Everyday did that. Right? And that's the thing I cannot deny. I'm glad it's only been played twice this year. I think it needs... Everyday needs breathing room. It doesn't need to be played every day, right? But it's a special moment for Buddy. I actually, listen, I know it was Boyd's song. I wasn't a fan of the wah violin. Like, he just kept going in circles. And I think Boyd did so much for this band. There's a lot missing because and we're not going to talk about that tonight. Yeah, You Might Die Try and Close may have been like that would have been like a step up. But to me, this is the best. And here's the thing. Let's see if I can get to the almanac here. Is it still shut down? I think the almanac, yeah, it crashed. Into Me. I'm gonna go to Tour Central because we're gonna have to just... That's the only way to really pull it up is but let me just show you what I mean by why other ones don't qualify for best of the... And this is my opinion. And even Connor says, right? Connor says at the top of the chat, right? He said top 3 of the tour. See, I'm extremely biased when it comes to the shows I've been to. So that's the only reason I don't have it at number 1. And at least Connor's self-aware of why he personally places it there. And that's one of the things, at least he's self-aware. Salute to Connor. And listen, I love Connor and his family. And they were awesome at Alpine, right? Let's go to Tour Central because the Ants site is up. So what do you guys point out some shows you think are the best? Now listen, I'm going to do Alpine Night 2. I'm just going to pull it up because I know that's going to be one of them, right? Let's pull up Alpine Night 2. Okay. Now this is going to be a little tougher on your eyes. I'm sorry, right? This is what disqualifies Alpine Night 2. That Girl Is You opener. Do you like candy and fresh? That Girl Is You. This is Alpine, family. I don't want no That Girl Is You opener. And my only concern is not everyone's going to go to Gilford next year. And the thing is, you can't do like be careful. Like, listen, if you want to go to Gilford, fine, go. But the thing is, like last year, SPAC had a crazy night too. And I went to Gilford, and Gilford was great. But Gilford was not on a level of a top 5 show of the year in either night. That Girl Is You opener. That's too much. Can't Stop. That's trash. Okay. Sledgehammer, with all of this stuff considered, is even worse. Louisiana Bayou, that's a downstroke, right? A downvote. Okay. You have a Jimmy thing, which again, I don't need. You have a You and Me, right? You have a Stay, which I thought actually, listen, that Stay was actually good. I ain't gonna hold you. That was actually good. But you have a Watchtower Closer, which to me, you're not ending on a. Listen, I would rather have Every Day than a Watchtower Closer, and this is why, because it's a DMB song. The crowd is gonna sing along. I know some people don't like to sing along, but I don't like Watchtower as a closer. I want a Dave song to close, even a Shake Me closer. And I know some people may say that's crazy, but Watchtower to me is the whole point of Watchtower has been ruined by, and that's my opinion. Some of you may disagree, but when you open the show with That Girl Is You, right? When you have That Girl Is You and Can't Stop ruin that show, right? What are some other shows that you guys just put in the chat? What other shows you think can compete? I think Heinz. Did you say? What did you say? Oh, Night One of Spec. So let's go to Night One of Spec, which again was an amazing show. I don't want to discredit that show, right? But it didn't have what you like. That's the biggest thing. Like, look at this Night One of Spec. Okay. Now the 41-7-27 was amazing. I mean, that was like that sounds like a 8-6-7-5-3 41-7 number 27. Nah, That Girl Is You is trash. I don't, and that's my opinion. One Sweet World, and listen, there's sometimes like One Sweet World. I don't think it's as good as people think it is. I still think it's a beautiful song. Because I had a That Girl Is You opener and a One Sweet World opener this tour. I was at Hartford in the Pit, and then I had Alpine night 2. That Girl Is You just doesn't do anything. It doesn't like it does. Oh yes, it builds up, right? But it doesn't. It's just one continuous build up, but it doesn't have anything that's really dope and interesting. But like, look at this, SPAC Night 1. That's great, right? And you have an early typical situation. But but the thing is that Encore, that Shake Me Like a Monkey closer, the You and Me, and you do have a drive in, drive out in the 2-step. But what I will say for night 1 of SPAC, the tour debut was not on point. Yeah, and Fatima says she was. Listen, the Austin tour opener, and that's my biggest point is you can say the show you went to had something special, right? And at least you're saying you were there, right? And you had so many great things, and we interviewed you for Fatima. I think. Well, I think we interviewed you for Dallas or Houston because you got your Dreaming Tree, right? Which is awesome, and I'm glad for you. But to me, SPAC Night 1 was amazing. But to me, when you have and I don't like Don't Drink Don't Drink the Water to me is a down vote. Some of you guys may say it's an upvote, and if you say that and you say that SPAC Night 1's better, that whatever. Yeah, I would listen. This is the thing. I would sit through that, but there were less things to sit through for tonight. Listen, that drive in, drive out was awesome. Okay. Deer Creek Night 2. The thing is, Deer Creek Night 2. Let's look at that one. And here's the thing with Deer Creek Night 2. You don't have. Let's look at that one because I was there as well. The thing with Deer Creek Night 2, the encore didn't have anything special. So let's just go right to the encore, right? The encore had steady. Now, this was because Carter got hurt. And you had a Bayou closer. Get out of here. Like that's how I felt. Don't Drink the Water is a downvote. Bayou's a downvote. Steady As We Go was beautiful, but they were by the way, they were gonna play Stay, I believe. They were gonna play Stay to end the set. That's not touching tonight. Now, SPAC Night, I mean, this show was still great, but Samurai Cop, and so much to say Bridge Too Much. I know it's a big moment for most people. I'm not like listen, the Too Much fake in the Halloween. I'd rather have that than the So Much Stay to Too Much, right? Stay was supposed to close. That's not that's not what I was expecting Deer Creek Night 2. Still a beautiful show, still a great time. The people, listen, I love the people of Alpine and Deer Creek. But look at this. The Somerset Bridge Too Much, that was in frequent rotation. And to me, I need that satellite right there. Right. You had a cornbread, which I think is trash. Although Lawler did it better than Tim. I liked how it was, and it's not that Tim's amazing. What Tim is doing is incredible on cornbread. It's just I don't like it. But that cornbread was just right when you start adding this up here. Um, Typical was great, but again, this don't drink the water Bayou and then not having something crazy here. Obviously, Carter got hurt during Bayou, but stay to close out Deer Creek, right? I've seen those Deer Creek sets from yesteryear. All I'm saying is that I'm thinking rationally again, being at this show. In the moment, I had a wonderful time at this show. I was so sad I had to leave Sandra, good old granny. So that's how I feel. I thought it was, but what I want to do is I do want to bring on our guests so that we can get them in and out. It is very late out there, and I see she is available. So let's just set this up. All right. So how you guys doing? Peyton, I see Victoria. Is Dan there too?
He is. He just doesn't do it.
Okay. So hey, we're saying this is show of the year. What did you guys think of this show?
It was good. Dan said he'll probably be on with us. Um, Thank you. Appreciate it. I think that tonight was better than SPAC. Yes.
All right.
So,
And what made this show so special to you?
what other show have you ever Encore? Yeah.
You said and every day.
Every day Encore. Every day Encore. Yeah.
That's
That was
true, and I
pretty nice.
believe it was the first time. Let me just look at our buddy Mark was looking that up. I think it's the first time since 2007. Let me just check that. And just tell us about what was that energy in the building when they closed out with every day.
Well, there's something. If you look close at Buddy, he was going smack with that keyboard.
He was going hard with it. Yeah, that's awesome.
We've talked about this a lot recently. How Buddy has like really taken over meaning to that song. And I really think that it was for that tonight. Buddy he was absolutely amazing, and we're Carter fans, but Buddy really had me tonight.
That's awesome. And what were some of the things as far as the main set? What were some of your favorite moments of this incredible main set?
When I could notice by how Buddy was playing, it was more like you sounded like blues. Yeah. You're amazing. So I was not expecting that whatsoever, and I know that Dave recently did it with the one. He was saying that he was like trying to change it up quite a bit, and that's 100% for sure. Not being able to be at that was amazing, and having like such a smaller venue when you're so used, it's crazy to hear the acoustics.
Yeah, it's a very, very intimate venue, and the stage is like, I mean, it's a very small stage, and everyone's just packed in there with up close and personal. Where were you guys sitting today?
We were sitting front row behind the pit. This is we're like technically we were at the same time we were the second, because the first row you can't even get into because they're blocking the seats from going down. So technically we were in the first.
There you go. And I was gonna say two of my favorite songs of all time from this band are "What You Are" and "Stone." They're dark, they're epic. What were those like intense songs like on the set list?
So the people, a lot of people around us, they knew the Stone, figure out what Dave was playing, and it was funny to hear like they haven't heard it, in such a long time. So that it was nice, and I feel like a lot of people that went, it's 50-50. Some of them didn't go to SPAC, and some of them only shows. So they haven't been seeing what we've been seeing all tour.
Right. So you do have some of those first timers, those northern New Englanders that may
Yep.
have not made the SPAC. And one thing we were saying is, regardless of what show you went to this tour, the fact that you could have not been able to afford a ticket to SPAC, or find a seat to SPAC, or you just be able to make that trip, and you get a show like
Right.
tonight on a Wednesday,
On a Wednesday, yeah.
is what really makes this tour special.
Right. About how we went to SPAC, right? That we didn't even have seats. It was because of our hometown lawn nation. We didn't even get tickets for our hometown, which was crazy. Past was amazing.
Right. And I think, listen, I think I like that because I think I've told you this. This is the first year I've ever gotten 2 tickets to SPAC in a row that were seats. I every other year, the 2 other times they were just one night. Before that, I just get denied every year. It's a high demand event. I would rather them listen, still do, hey, I still do those special things at SPAC, but I think that
Right.
for the sake of the fairness, anyone, I mean, I don't want people going to Gilford. It's a secret. No sales tax. I don't know if you guys are going shopping, but if you want to grab some stuff on the way back, Manchester
Yeah.
and Nashua is actually the best place to go. Nashua,
Yep.
New Hampshire has no sales tax. And I actually, my guitar, not the one that's here, this is my acoustic, but my electric guitar I got, I was out there, I got a guitar, I drove 2 hours for it, and I saved like hundreds of dollars. So anyway, but I just think that it's special that, you can go to Guilford, you could go to Homedale, New Jersey, if you live in New Jersey, and find a ticket for face value. And the fact that they're getting these sets that rival a SPAC or an Alpine, or that are better, arguably, I think that's special because, again, it can be stressful when you're locked out of your hometown venue. You guys are right down the street,
That's right.
and you can't get a ticket,
Yeah.
and it's frustrating. It's tough. I mean, you got lawn, right? But
It was great.
the
Yeah.
fact that you guys were right there, right, the first real row, and you're looking at Dave, and he's playing all this great stuff.
Yep.
Anything else stick out to you here?
So two-step.
Yes.
That was probably one of the best two-steps that I've ever seen, because I've seen a lot throughout the years.
Yes.
Not having it as a closer, and then being like, what are they going to play for an encore at this point?
Right.
The vibe went from 100 to, and I just, Carter on the drums went absolutely insane. I was waiting for both sticks to break on that two-step. Yeah.
Wow. Well,
For
that's
sure.
a good sign, because I know
Yeah.
Carter, actually, the last time he was in New Hampshire, he did an interview with Matt Norlander. It didn't make press because the album never came out. But Matt did say a couple of weeks later, he said Carter was not playing two-step as much because he was the mechanics of it will hurt your hand.
Yeah.
And
It's too
so the
much.
fact that he's banging on those drums, even at SPAC, he was banging. Peyton, I don't know if you've seen, I mean, it was obviously your first weekend, but Carter, because he was getting older, he was not slamming the drums in the last 5 years like he did for your first week. Maybe because he knew you were there. He's like, hey, Peyton's there, I got to put on a show. He's a new fan. He's the next generation of Dave Matthews Band fans. But listen, I mean, this is amazing to see everyone in the band put out a show like this, put out a show like we had in SPAC, to really this summer. They are doing great things. Any final thoughts? I know it's late, but any other final thoughts before we let you go?
Well, I do have a question.
Okay.
You weren't?
Were you in Guilford tonight?
Oh, I was not in Guilford
Oh,
tonight.
if you were, I was gonna ask. Oh, could you hear us screaming so much to say? Because we wanted them to play. But even like I was looking at cameras and this stage, and I saw this was Carter. So,
Just going crazy.
That's
This is
awesome.
that's absolutely amazing. I the one thing that I really tell the vibe and the energy from Dave when he loves, and I felt that tonight. Sometimes, like, and I'm not over there. He's working on his phone. Dallas wasn't the vibe, Dallas, babe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like it didn't. He said a couple of things, but there was nothing else.
Yeah, there was no connection.
There was no connection. He wasn't all over the sad about Dave, obviously, but we're mid, at this point, and he is loving every venue and talking, and he today, because I paid attention, more than ever, just because I was trying to help Peyton have that experience. I've never seen him take so many shirts or flags. Like he went around to each section.
Wow.
And that's something that we were in pit same night, and he took 2 selfies, and then that was it.
Yeah.
Pretty sure he did 2 selfies tonight.
He did a couple selfies. He did a video on someone's phone, left stage right.
Well,
hold on, baby.
Okay.
And it was great. It was just so good, and posters. Somebody from night 1, an older couple. I'm not good at above 70. They were front row. They were in the pit yesterday, like right for Connecticut, and Dave took a picture with them today outside of his.
Yes.
Ah, that is awesome.
So can you just like imagine them when to love Dave, right, and getting introduced to Dave, or even before that, late 50s and chilling out to Dave. So
right. Well, that is awesome.
So good to know about all these ages and generations that are love really what keeps him coming around.
Absolutely. And I think I told people that this, I know you guys you did a little trip down south, you and Dan, is that the preseason is the first couple of weeks of the tour. So you get some crazy things, just like if you go to preseason, they may try at football, they'll do a crazy trick play, but it's not the regular season. They have to build up to it. And this band tours more than even, I know you're a Fish fan like me, even the Fishes and Pearl Jams that have crazy selling, even Dead and Company, which is, it's a spinoff. No one has toured like DMB in this in the last 25, 30 years. Nobody has toured like them on the biggest stages nonstop. So, you do have some times where it's hard for them to pick it up, but it seems like you said, the last month that I've been on tour chasing these guys around,
Yep.
They have a whole new energy. So thank you so much, you guys. Hey, get some sleep. What's that?
Can you imagine what the gorge is going to look like?
It is going to be incredible, because that's even because right now they have to go to Camden, they got to go to, Dave and Tim got to go to CMAC. When they get to the gorge, the 2 years I've been, they are so relaxed. They have like a couple of days off minimum, at least 2 to 3 days off, and they're going to be recharged, and they give their heart out to me, the best amphitheater in the world at the gorge. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. If you're close and are on the fence about the gorge or even your local show, buy your tickets now. or wait for a deal a
Yes.
couple of days before. But take the vacation time. Tell your boss I'm going to Dave. But thank you guys so much, and safe
Thank
travels back
you.
to New York.
Yes. Were you able to watch Couch Tour?
No, I was busy. I was spending the night with I was spending quality time with my fiance and her
Yeah,
daughter.
that's
So yeah, I was on that, and then but I came back and I was driving back to my place, and I was like, I gotta get on. I gotta talk about this set list. So I didn't get the couch tour, but I'm gonna look at these videos when they come
amazing.
out. I'm gonna look at these videos. But again, safe travels, and thank you guys for coming on.
Just one quick Space Between was actually our friends.
It was.
It was one of our friend dad's song and stuff, and he passed away.
Yeah, he did.
And it was so beautiful.
It
Space
was.
Between and the Maker. So when you do
That's
replay,
awesome.
yes, and I think we might have a video of a pretty good one. So if you need one, let us know.
All right, that is amazing, and that's the type of stuff that transcends anything in a show. When someone
That's
you
right.
remember, or something that reminds you of someone who's not with us, and that was their song. That's what this
Yep.
is all about. So thank you guys.
He's just shows straight, and he's like, they're gonna play it. They're gonna play it. And his last show, they played it.
That's awesome. That's what this is about. So
Yep. Have a great night.
I
all right, take care. Oh,
thing to say.
Okay, quick.
The thing I have to say is have a good night. Has there been other people on? Just wondering.
no one else has been on yet. You guys were the first people. Tell us about this awesome
Well,
show.
thank you for having us. All right,
Have a good
You're welcome.
night.
Have a great
All right,
night,
take
Marcus.
care. Yeah, bye. So, I mean, there you have it. Yeah, I mean, that's again, that's like for Victoria and Dan, who, I think they said he was working, but they are like SPAC is their home venue. So they're used to some crazy. So when they're saying Gilford is better, that's someone they have a bias towards SPAC. That's really, and again, you can still say whatever show listen, everyone, you can say whatever, right? You could be in Bristol, Virginia, be like, yo, concert is no, Bristol was better, right? It was the Bayou tour debut. It was the best, right? Right now, I'm just playing. But seriously, everyone can have an opinion. My criteria is what isn't played is just as important as what is played. Now, there are some shows that have some crazy runs that it cancels out. Um, it kind of eliminates the bad stuff in that show that I'm not a fan of. Right? There's been some great shows, even some of the SPAC shows. You'll have a Jimmy thing or a You and Me and a That Girl is like, even with those mixed in, they just they overcompensated for those trash songs. Furdog says, was there, show was awesome, big time energy. That's awesome. Great to hear. Says, I personally think the Stone or Dream Girl are the perfect openers. I think the Stone is the best opener that I can conceptualize that's realistic. I have had two Stone openers. First one was my first show, May 25th, 2012. Second one was August of 2021 in Mansfield, Massachusetts. The emotions, especially that second, because the first one, I was like, this is epic. But I didn't get the appreciation. Like, I thought the Stone, that's what drew me in. I'm like, this is more lit than the actual recording, right? But the Mansfield Stone last year, even the video, I'm trying more and more to be professional and not freak out. And even this year, right? You guys hear the video this year. Let's go. Yeah, yeah. I was all excited, right? I just that song to me is the best opener. One Sweet World isn't better. Like, in my opinion, the Stone opener, because Dark DMB, and I come along this trend. If you guys are newer, to me, the Dark DMB is the best DMB, right? Before These Crowded Streets has deep, dark, emotional energy. That's what You Are gives you. That's what the Stone gives you. That is DMB at its best. Now, that's not to say, listen, Pig and Lion Are Graves are two songs about life that I need when I'm having a rough day. But the dark DMB, when Dave goes to that dark, when he goes Anakin, right? When he go Anakin, he like forget the good side. I'm bust. Listen, they killed my parent. I'm busting at all y'all, right? Or I'm giving that saber work to all y'all clowns. I'm the women in the church. Like he's like I'm in Madman's Eyes, right? Yep. Back at you 99. Yeah, Madman's Eyes. That's the energy. Fatima, were you? I think we already went over this. Were you at that show as well? That Stone opener was amazing. That was my favorite opener of the tour of that 2021. I went to 10 shows in 2021, and that was my favorite. So it's just the dark DMB. Listen, you can get happy later, but when you come out and you going, when you listen, when you walking in, Dave, when he get the Stone, he goes like that. When you get that, listen, that Stone, when I tell you, when you like when the sun is setting, right? The sun is setting, and you get that, and then that, and then it goes to that. If you come now, hold up my head, like it goes from that, and then it goes like that is listen. There's nothing better to me to open up a show. It gives you all the emotions, all the feels. It comes out dark, and to me, my favorite part of that song, like when it goes from that. Like when Dave is like, "Wonder if you come along," and then like everyone else stops. It's like you're going off a cliff. It's like you're in a car chase and you're flying off the cliff and you're hoping you'll land and just. So to me, the Stone, yeah, the juxtaposition of darkness and light. Well said, Fatima. Using those SAT words, right? Perfect. Best. That's a great explanation of that. So that's where I'm at. I don't know. I didn't get anything from Greg, but I think just having that is good because I need to get some sleep. I need to get some sleep. Um, but I mean, again, you guys see I'm hyped up. But the overall thing that I think we can walk away with is every, I mean, dang near every show has had some special moments, and it doesn't matter what show you went to. If you went to this show, it doesn't matter what you're into for this band. If you like That Girl Is You, right? If you like Cornbread, if you like Don't Drink the Water, right? Nah, I'm just playing. I'm playing. I like messing around. But whatever you like, a show like tonight, you're gonna still be happy. Crush, Sledgehammer, like you have those main hits, Two Step. And Tony C says those dark horns, yeah, favorite. Because that's the thing is, listen, when it's dark too, it forces Rashawn in to tone down a little bit from the higher registers, which is the thing I don't like. I think when he gets in the regular bed, and listen, that's what all trumpet players do, right? I was in honors orchestra, right? Your boy, listen, I played West Side Story, the West Side Story 22-minute like compilation in 90-degree weather in Orlando, Florida. Okay. So I know about trumpets because I was a clarinet player. Listen, them trumpets, they love busting off, right? Them trumpets used to come in. We had early morning band practice. They was like in the highest register, right? So I get that. But was tonight's methane? No, it was I believe it was a let me make sure I get her name right. um let me see if we can DMB poster collectors. Tonight's poster. Sophie Hollington. Sophie Hollington did it. And let's pull up. Well, I don't know if we're going to be able to pull up the poster. Let's see if we can. The whole site them been shut down. I'm glad I had this. I'm glad I pulled this up when I pulled this up because this site is, yeah, this thing loading. Let's go to Twitter. Let's go to Twitter real quick, and we'll be able to see it there. Not my cup of tea tonight for the poster. I understand art is subjective, and some people liked it. So you marched all around Disney World playing snare drum. Shout out to you, Michael. um, let's see if I can find that. Shout out to Johnny Driscoll, also one of the admins for DMB Family, who posts always gets this on Twitter. I know it's on the poster groups, but it's easier for me to pull this off Twitter. This is the poster. I'm not a fan of it, but I can understand people who like this type of unique art. That this is something they did like. I would have not even lined up for this. Even if someone, you know what, if someone handed me this poster, I would give it to someone who actually wanted it. I don't even know, like if someone gave this to me for free, I would pass it on to someone else who really wanted this poster. And it's very rarely, like, some of you guys are poster collectors too. It's very rarely that you would give up a print if you got, let's say you got it for free, hypothetically. Sometimes you even buy the print and you're not even a huge fan. You just want to buy it. Maybe you think you'd like it later. You want to see how it looks in person, sit with you for a couple of days, and you still don't like it, and you just end up flipping it anyway. This poster, I mean, listen, I understand why people, like I said, but it's not for me, fam. It's not for me, and I hope people who get it enjoy it and hang it up, and it brings them joy for the rest of their life. It's just not for me. But I think it's also, what I will say though is it also is great that we have a woman, getting a little more diversity. You have a woman that created this poster. Just giving opportunities. Sophie Hollington, salute to her, giving her opportunity. Some people do like this. I've talked to some people who do and some people who don't. Some people do, some people don't. It does, yeah, it does have a Mexico vibe with that moon and the vegetation. And that's I think that's another reason too. That sun, it's got that Aztec type theme or jungle type theme that you have down there for the Dave and Tim Mexico. Um, said, thanks for being on, Marcus. Sorry if this has been covered. Curious if you consider going to this 2-night run being in CT. Yes, I did consider going to this. The reason I did not is because I could have I almost said wrote a check. I could have physically gone to this weekend. I did not want to waste the vacation time, and I didn't want to put the finances towards this. Your boy getting married in December, right? I got engaged in April and getting married in December. So I'm trying to get this wedding paid for, and I don't want to be starting off a marriage with all this money lost on concert tickets this year. I already been to 8 shows. I will be at Sound on Sound. But yeah, so what I said this year is I said, and also the other thing too is one of the, and shout out to the people, the pod that Jane likes. Go check them out. By the way, I'm gonna give them a plug here because without some of them like Trish DMB, without her and even DMB Society, kind of appreciating my content, I would not be where I was today. Let me get that out. So the pod that Jane likes, they actually mentioned this, and I've heard other people say this, but I want to credit them because this is where I heard it from. Pod that Jane likes, please like them on Instagram. This is an awesome podcast because they have they have so the person who runs DMB Society and another guy, they're like me. They're more of the numbers, like, and they've been going to shows longer than me, but and they're very, very like. So you have Sean and Matt, right? So Sean and Matt, now they both have their own unique thing. Sean, I think, runs DMB Society, and Matt, right? They're gonna be more like me. That listen, they got the set list. He thinks that Last Stop should never have been truncated, and they should have that big thing. But then you have Trish, who's just Trish. Trish is awesome, right? She's been to a lot of shows, and she loves a lot of things about DMB. There's very few things she doesn't like. And then you have Jeanette. Jeanette's been to like so many shows. She's lost count. She's probably been in the fan base. She's probably in the top. She's in the 1%. She's been to like over 200 shows, right? And she's lost count, I think, over 250 shows because she lives in the Northeast. So she was doing Foxborough and Giant Stadium and all that stuff, right? So she's been going to so many shows, right? First show was June 7th, 98 at Giant Stadium. But this is a podcast. I'm halfway through their first real. They had like a pilot episode, their first one, but you can do that on Apple Podcasts. Click the link right here. But the pod that just look up pod that Jane likes and check them out there. And then, but it's awesome. But what I'm saying that they were saying that you should not go to so many shows in a row. Because you will get a lot of repeat. And that's why I kind of said, listen, last year I did not do Deer Creek. Last year I did Hartford, Mansfield, and then I did Gilford for 2 nights. I did not do SPAC last year, and I did MSG night 2 in Mohegan for both of those nights. So what I try to do is I try to go to certain things I may have not hit the year before. And I never have been to Deer Creek and Alpine. So I had to go. And I did not go to SPAC for 2 years in a row or 2 shows in a row ever. I went to night 1 and 17, night 2 and 18. 17 was Dave and Tim, 18 was full band. JTR was out there for that SPAC show in 18. Fatima says, yeah, full podcast is great. Yeah, I love hearing their breakdown of SPAC. I will say, though, speaking of that, I will say, they were trying to compare Alpine and SPAC, and they were acknowledging they weren't there. I will say Alpine had the better people, better crowd, nicer people, better tailgate. SPAC has the better exit strategy because Alpine has a horrible exit. Like there's only a couple ways out of there. SPAC, there's 15 ways out of there with the park. SPAC had the loudest of louds. SPAC had the loudest of louds. Than Alpine, even though Alpine has more people. And Alpine had more energy at certain points, but SPAC had the loudest points of energy. SPAC had an encore that was unlike anything at Alpine, right? You had that encore where Dave comes in, pay for what you get, right? And bust that out. And then has that too much fake in the Halloween. There was no moment of Alpine that could touch that. Even Dreaming Tree by itself was amazing, but that encore was phenomenal. Yeah, there is another pod. Yeah, and this one I think this will have the most balance because the Corner of Grace, you guys, they're great, but they're gonna be more like Matt and what is it? They're going to be more like Matt and Sean, but those guys actually know a lot. And they actually have the Corner of Grace, you guys, they have connections. They have insider information with the band. So like when they've certain tours, certain things, they've actually been the ones on Ants to bust out some of that stuff to the public before it actually happens. But this podcast has a better balance because you're getting people. And I think that's the most important thing, not to knock the Corner. Because listen, Corner of Grace, they're phenomenal, right? They're phenomenal. And they pulled some guests that I don't think anyone else in the DMV community can pull. But one of the things that's important is this is a round table where you have a bunch of different voices. You have 4 different voices and they all have their unique things. So that's why this podcast is great. Typically you'll have, and I think one of the things that's important, that's why I try to have you guys tell me how you feel at a show. And if any, like your opinion is your opinion. A lot of times you'll have people like me and Ants Marching where we're like, listen, we'll tell you a song is trash. Like I don't like that song. I'm going to the bathroom during this. I don't like Bayou except the jam at the end. So there's a lot of that, and I think one of the things that's good to balance is having voices of people who actually love the majority or every single DMB song. People who love to hear Dave play the phone. Like we need it. Echo chambers are horrible. They're horrible. I strongly dislike echo chambers, right? Now there's certain things that you could say, listen, they don't respect me. I can't have a conversation that's civil. That's one thing. But echo chambers are not good. I like to surround myself. Listen, there's some people who love Bayou that I'm cool with and we hang out. There's some people who don't like Bayou like me. There's some people that are a little too critical of the set list, even more than I am. And I'm like, I don't go that far. But I still can be cool with that. And I think it's good to hear different perspectives. So anyway, say that to say that yes, I did not go to Gilford. I'm at the crib, and I'm in Connecticut, so I'm 3 hours away from there. And like, yeah, Tony C, he likes pretty much everything they do. Tony C has really, in the last couple of years, he's hopped on this DMB train and really has taken in this band and adopted them as his passion of things he goes to see. So, and that's okay. Like that, everyone has the right to their own opinion. Again, I hate echo chambers. I can't say that enough. I need people around me that think differently, as long as there's a little bit of respect, right? Recently is becoming a new, yeah. Recently, and I know you just started really on your journey of going to live shows, Tony C. I believe from what you told me, but recently is amazing, and the way they're playing it in this current band is fire. I think it still has its integrity of that acoustic percussive sound that I always talk about. Is still there. But yes, I'm not going. I did not go to Gilford. Um, what else was I gonna say? Oh, I did have. No, check out Instagram. I have some funny. Yeah, check out Instagram. Instagram ConcertViz34. You guys will see some cool things there. And but I did have a little thing. You guys watch on Instagram. It's right there. Okay, that first one that is pretty funny. There, and I have some other stuff over there. But Instagram ConcertViz34. Check that out. What else? What else? What else? What else? Yeah, I mean, just overall great show. Overall great show. But I'm just, this got me hyped that What You Are coming out, Squirm at the 17 spot. Sheesh, as they say now. Sheesh. This is just a great thing. Say Goodbye, getting 4 plays. The fourth player of the year. I've gotten 3 of those Say Goodbyes to my knowledge. What, Hartford, Alpine, and SPAC. Right? I think that's what it was. I had all 3 until tonight, but listen, I'm happy. That's the thing is, I am, in some ways, I'm happy for people that come to these midweek shows or come to these smaller venues and get these type of shows, right? Do I go to the big venues to get the big moments? Absolutely. My strategy, though, I think, and again, you have to realize you may go to a venue that had a fire show this year that had certain things you liked, and they may not play that stuff next year. So just buyer beware. Go to shows, travel to enjoy the travel, and the DMB show is bonus. That's how I feel when I go to travel to these spots. I went to Gilford last year, got some new running shoes, no sales tax. I got a new toothbrush, right? No sales tax. I know, I know, I'm silly. Um, I had a ball. I was exploring there and had a great time in Guilford. And when you travel to these places, yes, you're there for the show, but the experience is just as important. That's what I felt at Deer Creek and Alpine. And I had certain thoughts about, again, That Girl Is You opening up, but overall, that did not, like, I had a wonderful time, and I'm glad I did it. The best thing, though, going back to that to the pod that Jane likes, if you can go to a show, go to opening night in Texas, again, have low expect, just listen, just be there and be open. Go to Texas for a show. Go to the Northeast. Maybe hit the Midwest if you have that travel money. It's better to space out your shows. Now, you may space out your shows like I did. I don't know, you may have a show where you go to all these shows and then all of a sudden Shotgun's only played it at Homedale. So that can happen. It can happen. Tony C says he's been a DMB fanatic in the last 5 years, really. Um, but I would say the best strategy is to space it out, and just, again, understand that you may have something before and after, but spacing out your shows gives you a rotation of songs that may go away in the next wave. And even like Dreaming Tree has only been played once across all of the big 2 of the 3 venues. And there's been years that, listen, you can go to the Gorge and they won't play certain stuff. They didn't play Joyride at the Gorge. They didn't play What You Are last year at the Gorge. In 2019 and 2021, they did not have Joyride. They didn't have Gorge. They did not. I mean, they didn't have Joyride. They didn't have Dreaming Tree. They did not have What You Are. Right? They didn't have. There was no drive. There has not been drive in, drive out in the Gorge for years. And last year they played it at a couple spots. They didn't play it at the Gorge. I went to 3 nights, but you can't. There's always going to be stuff you don't get. But spacing it out is probably the best thing to do. And stuff like Gilford and even like other venues like Camden are good alternatives to SPAC if you don't get tickets. Caught the end of the show. Any idea why why your buddy Mike wasn't streaming from the pit? Got excited when I heard him say it'd be night 2 pit. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. But the other stream was still sweet nonetheless. Yeah, usually Mike is usually in that pit and he's streaming. Have they played Diving this year? No. They played it last year, and when I got it for the first time, Mohegan Night 1, I was so happy. This year, though, they are releasing these. You like my shovel? Yeah. I should have put this shovel up. But yeah, I should have put. I usually do, but by this point, it's in July. In 2 months, August and September, we could get snow here. So I am just gonna leave it out. Oh, you got Drive Out at Block, yeah. But even Dive In wasn't played at the Gorge. Dive In didn't come until after. And one of the things, Tony, see that you experienced this last year. You went to Columbus, and you went to Blossom, Columbus, and I believe you went to Grand Rapids. But some of the 2018 and 2012 arena tours and 2021 arena tours, you will get certain songs that are debuted for the year. Is this a fish thread? Yeah. It's a big eye fish thread, right? It's a big eye fish thread. But you will get certain stuff in the arena winter tours that they don't play in outside in the summer. And the arena tours have the best value for your money. And also the arena tours have better sound because there's no wind, there's no storms. It's a static environment where you can alter the sound and nothing is really going to mess with it outside of the walls bouncing around the walls. Yes, Tony C got the Madman's Eyes debut in Columbus, Ohio. So they brought out Madman's Eyes in the late fall tour, late fall / winter, whatever you want to call it. I guess it was fall, so we call it the fall portion of the full band tour. They just had one. They counted it all as one tour, I believe. But yeah. So they in Mohegan. Are they doing an arena tour? The rumor is, and actually the corner of Gray Street, Bruce W. Put this out. They're saying there's going to be a winter tour. MSG is confirmed as far as what he's hearing. I heard someone say something about Mohegan Sun. Right. We're not going to end this show with Someday by R.L. Grimes. And another reason is, the thing is, I have to be careful with stuff I play outside of DMB because I'll get caught. They'll actually block this whole video. That happened when I was playing some instrumentals, when I played the band that Taylor Hawkins is in and he passed away tragically. That band, I don't want them to strike me again. But when I played a tribute to him at the end, I think they said I was impersonating. You got to be careful with other bands' music. TCK is it Kaufman? I've been seeing DMB since '98. Just recently found your channel and enjoy your recaps and break. Thank you I appreciate that. Especially, listen, I love when the OGs, you've been there since that to me, 98 to 04 is the best of the band. So you've been since 98 and you've seen. I appreciate the veterans. I appreciate the new fans. I appreciate everyone in between. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. It has grown. Some of you guys may have been here when there were like 4 people on. There's 18 right now, and it's 12:08. And I'm just glad that people are listening and watching this stuff, and I feel blessed and humbled that people are receptive to this content. And I'm hoping to build on this, and I'm working on trying to get some sort of roundtable panel at a show next year. So we'll see what happens, but I'm glad that you like this. Thank you as well, Heinz. Says love your stuff, love your insight, love how we can agree. Yes, we have a lot of stuff we disagree on. Even our college basketball teams. You're an Illinois Illini fan, and I'm a UConn Husky fan, right? But hey, you guys have a better football team. Our football teams, although we got Jim Moore, we'll see what happens. It's hard to recruit. You guys in like Champaign, Illinois, you guys have people that would rather be in Illinois than Connecticut for football. It's hard to get kids to come to Storrs, Connecticut. The Midwest, even the northern parts of the Midwest, just have a better football experience, right? Your fan base at a football, like, listen, I can say, oh, Tolland in the house. Shout out to Tolland, Connecticut. I actually stopped by that. I had to figure out where to get a Big Y pizza before I went to Massachusetts, and I actually called one in from Tolland um, on the way to Mansfield. Then I met up with my buddy a little further north, up 84. So yeah, shout out to Tolland, Connecticut. And yeah, but anyway, that's gonna be the show for tonight. Um, yeah, that's really all I got. But again, oh, I did. Oh my gosh, I didn't do any of the tickers. So I have all these tickers. You guys gonna see some of these. Those are the dates. I had them all nice and set up. The venue debuts for Gilford. This is interesting. The Maker, Stay or Leave in the Stone. I'm not shocked with Break for it, but the Maker, Stay or Leave in the Stone. The fact that those were actually like debuts for the venue were very interesting because listen, Gilford has had some crazy stuff. They've had You Never Know played twice. They've had Say Goodbye, right? There's already been two Say Goodbyes at Gilford. They get some special stuff, right? The Stone was for, yeah. And then we have tour debuts or What You Are. And oh, they got two tour debuts. So I had these tickers. I forgot that I put so much work. I did it so much further in advance than I typically do it. Here, well, you guys will see this and we'll do an outro. Let's see, what should we do for the oh, we'll actually close because actually this did clear. This did clear. What we'll do, we'll close out. I got another one coming. For the next stop in my DMB tour, my DMB road trip. You guys are gonna see some stuff here, and that video should be done by hopefully by this weekend. I don't want to say for sure, but let's listen to some Goose. Goose. This is Goose. Okay, this is an awesome band to me. They're a jam, like they're not DMB's not a jam band, but they're gonna be but this like Goose is getting my friends who are indie rock fans, and they are getting people like me who like jam bands, and I think they're the like obviously this is a big year for them. Stoked for Fiddlers, except I love how it spread out from Gorge. I love how spread out from Gorge it was last year. I know the norm is to have them back to back. These are my two weekends the last 2 years. Wait, are you out there in Salt Lake City? Are you Ants Marching? J Boo Dave guy, you never know. Are you the guy out in there on Ants Marching from Salt Lake City? Who's from Connecticut? Oh, that's you. Oh, okay. I don't think I've seen you on here. Maybe I have once or twice. Yes. Thank you for coming in. I was like, that's who I think it is because you're out west. I know you were in SLC. From Talent out here in Salt Lake City. Yeah. Actually, I used to work at StubHub, and a bunch of people from StubHub went out to Salt Lake City when StubHub left Connecticut, their office. And they went out to SLC. I couldn't do it, and this is why, because I did. I mean, I'm glad I needed a career change, but the other thing was I looked at like how far Salt Lake City was from Denver and from Las Vegas, right? You got to drive through St. George, take 15. Is it 15? I think it's 15 that goes down a lot. Like, because I was like, I need major cities a little bit closer, even if it was even if it was a couple of hours. But Salt Lake City is so out there. But I mean, I've heard great things about people that are out there. I don't think it's the city for me. And then again, you have the Jazz basketball there, and I heard great fans out there, but I need a little bit more. I need be closer to some pro sports, and stay away. I'm not Zach Wilson. I don't need the Cougars. It's a joke, yeah. I don't need. I need to have a little. I don't need the Cougars. I'm not out. I don't need to be cutting for Cougars out there. Shout out to BYU. Yeah, Zach off. Hey, yeah, that's a crazy. Just look up Zach Wilson Jets. Interesting. All right, but let's close this out with a little bit of Goose Slow Ready. And you guys will be able to see this cool little intro to my DMB road trip. Okay. So it's your boy Conserviz34. Definitely like, comment, subscribe. Thank you guys for the support. I will be back for Camden. Shout out to South Jersey. Shout out to my people across the river in Philly. Right. Let's go Flyers. Let's go Sixers. All right, let me stop. Let me get out of here. This is the intro montage for my road trip video. You guys can find this video. Let me give you the link. If you guys want to watch this full video after, because I'm going to cut it off after the intro montage, this is the link to my Chicago portion of the DMB road trip. But you guys will see some cool stuff here. And if this video is edited out, it's because I hope it doesn't. I actually even say that. But if for some reason I think this was able to be cleared, they were cool with it. Shout out to the people at Goose from Connecticut. Connecticut's own Goose. They are awesome. But it's your boy Conserviz34. I'm gonna be out of here. Check this out. Peace.
Baby, on the way, I was melting like ice on the back of my spine. Where we going tonight? You know I saw that eye in the corner of the light, playing games with my mind. It's going down tonight. So ready for them on the floor. Oh, you know I'm coming back for more. Take it slow, I'm burning.